switched off. And also, hold on. Did you see that? Did you look at him? Such a jolly little boy. Just leave it. No photography during the performance. What else? No food, no drink. Blah, blah, blah. Alrighty. Also, if anybody finds a Duran Duran CD box set anywhere in the auditorium, I need that back. That is mine. Give it to me. Thank you. Please drop it at my check box at the end of the show. Alright. Enjoy the performance. Okay. Can we have house lights up? Look for the cast. We need to find Billy Barstow.
Trevor! Trevor!
Amy's still doing on stage. Can someone get her off so Chris can do his stupid speech? Oh.
Leave it. Just leave it.
But we need it.
We don't have time. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Cornley Drama Society's presentation of The Murder at Havisham Manor. Please, allow me to introduce myself. I am Chris, the director, and I would like to personally welcome you all to what will be my directorial debut and my first production as head of the Drama Society. Firstly, I would like to apologize to those of you involved in our little box office mix-up. I do hope that the 617 of you affected will enjoy our little murder mystery just as much as you would have enjoyed Hamilton. Now, we are particularly excited to present this show because, for the first time in the Society's history, we have managed to find a play that fits the number of Society members perfectly. If we are being honest, a lack of members has sometimes hampered past productions, such as last year's Chekhov play, Two Sisters, last Christmas's The Lion and the Wardrobe, or indeed our summer musical, Cat. This will also be the first time that we're able to stage a play of this scale, and we are thrilled. It is no secret that we usually have to contend with a very small budget, as was evident in our recent production of Roald Dahl's classic, James and the Peach. Of course, during the run of that particular show, the peach we had went off, and we were forced to present a hastily devised alternative entitled, James, Where is Your Peach? Anyway, on to the main event, which I am very confident will be our greatest show yet. Greatest show yet. Now, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, put your hands together for... Do you not know how this works? Good God. For Susie H.K. Bridewell's thrilling whodunit, The Murder at Havisham Manor.
Charlie, are you in there? We're all waiting downstairs to raise a glass to your engagement. Charlie? If I didn't know any better, I think you're having second thoughts about the wedding.
Yep.
Charles? You've been in there for hours now. If you won't come out, then we'll come in. Damn it, he's locked the door. Perkins, hand me the key.
Here they are, Mr. Collymore.
Thank you, Perkins. Now to get this door open. We're coming in, Charlie. We're coming in. There we are. We're in. Well, what's this? Charles? Unconscious?
Asleep, surely, Mr. Collymore.
Damn it, Perkins, I hope so.
I'll take his pulse.
Blast. I knew... Something must have been wrong. It's so unlike Charles to disappear like this.
Sir, he's dead.
He can't be. He's my oldest friend.
He's not breathing, sir, and there's no hint of a heartbeat.
Well, I'm dumbfounded. He was right as... He was right as rain just an hour ago.
I don't understand. He can't be dead. He was as fit as a fiddle. This doesn't make any sense.
Of course it makes sense, Perkins. He's been murdered. Good God, where's Florence?
She's in the dining room, sir. Shall I fetch her?
At once, Perkins, and quickly.
But she's bound to have one of her hysterical episodes.
Damn it, Perkins, gather everyone in here. Charles, dead. What a horror.
Lounge to dining room. Cecil, Miss Collymore, come to Charles's private rooms at once. Charles Haversham has been murdered.
But, do you think it was murder, Perkins? Or do you think perhaps... Do you think perhaps it was suicide?
Suicide? Mr. Haversham? Not possible. Never was there a man with more zest for life than Charles Haversham. He was young, rich, and soon to be married. Why on earth would he commit suicide?
But why on earth would anybody want to murder him? Charles was such a gentle fellow.
Generous, kind, a true philanthropist. He never had an enemy in his life.
Until today, it seems.
Shall I telephone the police, sir?
The police, they wouldn't make it out here for days in this snowstorm. No. I'll telephone Inspector Carter. He lives just the other side of the village. He'll be here in no time. Hand me the receiver, Perkins. Thank you, Perkins. Good evening. Thomas Collymore speaking. Sorry. Thomas Collymore speaking. Give me Inspector Carter. I know it's late. Damn it, I don't care about the weather. Someone's been murdered. Somebody's murdered Charles Haversham. That's right. That's right.
Sound error on Q4.
Thank you. He's on his way.
Inspector Carter.
They say he's the best damn inspector in the district. He'll crack this case, and quick.
Very good, sir. And what shall I do?
Lock every door, man. Not a soul gets in or out of Haversham Manor until the killer is found.
At once, sir.
And assemble everyone in here.
Right away, sir.
Good Lord. Charles Haversham, murdered at his own engagement party. Good Lord. Charles Haversham, murdered at his own engagement party. What a grim, grim night. Florence.
Charlie, no! I can't believe what I'm seeing. He looks so frail lying there. His skin is cold to the touch.
Don't touch him, Florence.
I must.
You mustn't.
Unhamely and controlling brute. If you do such a thing, the night of our engagement party. Cecil, quick! Your brother's dead. This way, Mr. Haversham.
I'm coming, Miss Collymore.
Get off, you idiots.
My brother? Dead? It can't be.
Calm yourself, Cecil. Perkins, pour him a stiff drink.
Right away, sir. Charlie always kept his scotch upstairs in the study.
You know, my brother had the finest collection of scotch in all the county.
Don't you think I know that, Cecil? He was my best friend.
Well, he was my brother, Thomas.
Hang it all. Charlie, dead.
My fiancé, dead. I can't bear it.
You aren't to leave my sight this evening, Florence.
Oh my God! He's drunk the whole bottle. There's not a drop left.
Hang it all. There's
not a
Another
drop
on the counter.
left.
the cabinet.
Yes, sir. Of course. You're right. This one's full.
This is horrifying. I mean, who on earth would have a motivation to murder Charles Haversham?
I can't imagine.
It's madness. My brother was a good man. Who would want to kill him? I'm in shock, Thomas.
As am I, Cecil. As am I.
My brother, murdered in his own home. This is unthinkable.
This is all more than I can bear. I simply can't stand it. Thomas, I think I'm becoming hysterical.
No, Florence. No, Florence. Not another one of your episodes. Here, take one of your pills.
Oh, Florence, this is unbearable. Thomas, I feel I shall pass out.
Perkins, pour that man a stiff drink.
Thank you, Perkins.
There, Florence. Deep breaths.
This is terrible. Just a week after our engagement.
That's the best damn whiskey I've ever tasted.
Have another to calm your nerves.
Make it a double.
My Charlie, my head is spinning.
Calm down, Florence.
Another scotch, sir.
Yes.
I can't believe he stayed upstairs drinking all night when he should have been downstairs with us.
My brother wasn't always as happy as people were led to believe. Behind that cheery mask lay a darker side to the man that many didn't know about.
It's true. His smile was often merely a facade. I was one of the few people who he truly confided in. Damn it all! I've lost a true friend today.
We all have, Perkins. Hang it. I knew Charlie ever since school.
I don't know how I'm ever going to recover from this.
You'll move back home with me. I'm your brother, and I'll have it no other way.
You know, Perkins is right. My brother was hiding both a deep feeling of melancholy and resentment. I have no doubt in my mind it was suicide.
Suicide? Mr. Haversham? How could you say that? It was murder. Murder in the first degree.
Nonsense! My brother was paranoid and jealous, and I can prove it. Perkins, hand me his journal. It's there on the mantelpiece. Thank you, Perkins. Why? Look at the last entry. I fear Florence does not love me. The night of our engagement party, despair engulfs my soul.
But I love Charlie with my whole heart.
As I said, driven mad with paranoia and jealousy.
Oh, is that me?
The inspector!
Thank heavens he's here.
What a terrible snowstorm. Good evening. I'm Inspector Carter. Take my case.
Yes, Inspector.
This must be Charles Havisham. I'm sorry, this must have given you all a damn shock.
Yes, we're still reeling.
Naturally. Now tell me, are any of you deceased's immediate family?
I'm Cecil Haversham. I'm his brother.
I'm Florence Collymore. I'm his fiance. Tonight was our engagement party.
I take it everyone is gathered here then?
Yes. The only other member of staff is Arthur, the gardener. But I saw him and Rascal leaving for the weekend hours ago.
Rascal.
His guard dog.
Very well. Have you poured everyone a stiff drink?
Yes, Inspector.
Well, here's to men we all loved. To Charles.
Charles!
delicious.
Excellent.
Lovely, Perkins. That's a damn fine bottle. What's the vintage?
Flammable and corrosive, sir.
Listen, you almost beat a straw. But I need you to pull yourselves together. The sooner I can begin my investigations, the sooner I can get to the bottom of this ghastly business. Now, you could be so kind as to take the body up to the study for me to examine it.
Yes, Inspector.
I'll lend you a hand, Perkins.
Then, walk all the doors to the house and prepare this room. I shall conduct my inquiries here afterwards.
Inspector.
Any ideas as to the cause of death, Inspector?
Well, it could be a number of things. Strangulation, suffocation,
What is that?
poison.
Is that the structure?
Before fully examining the body, I wouldn't quite like to say.
Poison, Inspector? Surely not.
Try not to think about it, Miss Collymore. As soon as I've finished examining the body, I'll interrogate everyone individually, and then you can get some space to calm your nerves.
Thank you, Inspector. This is all more than I can bear.
Naturally, I shall return as soon as I finish examining the body.
Well, thank God they've all gone.
Good Lord, Perkins, this body weighs a ton.
This must be Charles's private study. Set the body down there, gentlemen.
It's such a tragedy to see a man die just 3 months before he's to be married.
I can't stand it. Just look at him. Lying there.
This is most morose.
Morose, indeed.
Cecil, we must tread carefully. It'd be easy for the two of us to be implicated in Charles's death. If they find out about us, we'll be suspects.
So what? We were having an affair. It doesn't mean we killed the man.
Well, of course not, but that's not what the inspector will think.
It's fine. Just carry on as if everything... As if everything is as it was. Except, now you won't be forced to marry my beastly brother.
And we can be together and not keep secrets.
Soon, my love. But first, with Charlie finally out of the picture, I must ask you one question.
It's so strange to think of Charles being dead. He was such an influence in all of our lives.
It's almost as if he's still alive in the room with us.
His stillness unnerves me.
Seeing it out for the first time can be unsettling. Check his pockets, Thomas.
Inspector,
Now, gentlemen, I'm going to need you to pull yourselves together. Help me dust his body for fingerprints.
Yes, Inspector.
a letter?
Now to dust the body for fingerprints.
What was that?
Sir?
I could have sworn I just saw him breathing.
Breathing, sir?
Nonsense, Polymore. This man is dead.
Florence, will you do me the honor of becoming my wife? Marry me. Charles is dead, and he can never come between us again. Charles is, gone, and he's never coming back.
Thank you, gentlemen. You have been most helpful. Now, if you would be so kind as to take this body down to the servants' quarters for the coroner to collect in the morning.
Yes, Inspector.
Then, Perkins, check all the doors to the house.
Inspector?
And, Thomas, if you would be so kind as to fetch my notebook and pencil from downstairs.
Naturally.
Oh, Cecil, I can't resist you. I shall marry you.
Oh, Florence, come into my arms.
I shall.
Kiss me.
Cecil.
The inspector requires a pencil. What on earth is going on in here?
I felt like I was going to faint. Cecil was just cooling my brow.
Very well. Well, now I have the inspector's pen. Now I have the inspector's pencil. Now I have the inspector's pencil. I'll be on my way.
Thank God he's gone.
Oh, Cecil, kiss me 1,000 times. I'm yours. Sorry to interrupt. Cecil, Miss Collymore, I've come to collect the keys to lock us all inside. I shall lock all the doors at once. Do you think Perkins suspects us?
That old fool? Of course not.
Oh, enough words. Take me.
I forgot the inspector's notebook. What in God's name?
I was about to faint. Cecil caught me.
I haven't time for this. Now I have the inspector's note. Now I have the inspector's notebook. Now I have the inspector's notebook. I'll be on my way.
Damn these blasted interruptions.
Kiss me, Cecil. I can't wait a second longer. Kiss me, Cecil. I can't wait a second longer. Kiss me, Cecil. I can't wait a second longer. Sorry to interrupt. Miss Collymore, Cecil, I've come to prepare the room.
Thank you, Perkins. You can just set them down on the mantelpiece. That's, good work. Thank you, Perkins. At last, we're alone.
Oh, Cecil, let's run away, together, far away.
Soon, my love, we must be careful. We mustn't arouse suspicion.
I must ask you, who do you think killed Charles?
I've no doubt in my mind. He was killed by your brother, Thomas Collymore.
My brother, a murderer, and Charles dead? What a double of a situation this is.
Not so fast.
But why would Thomas want Charles dead?
Is it not obvious? He was always bitter and possessive when it came to you. He couldn't stand the idea of his best friend marrying his sister. He saw you two together at tonight's engagement party, and it drove him half mad, and he snapped and killed Charles.
But if it is Thomas, then what if our affair is discovered?
I've no doubt in my mind he'd try to kill us too, just like he killed Charles.
I feel faint again.
Don't worry, Florence. Just follow my lead.
I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. But now that I've finished examining the body, I can interrogate everyone individually. Perkins, bring in Charles's personal effects.
Where would you like them, sir?
Oh, just set them on the mantelpiece. Perkins. I'd like to have a word with you. Miss Collymore, Mr. Havisham, if you'd be so kind as to give us a moment's privacy.
Naturally.
Why, don't just stand there, Perkins. Have a seat.
May I?
Go ahead. Tell me, how are you feeling, Perkins?
A little shaken, sir, but I'll be okay.
You and Charles Havisham, you were close?
Yes, sir. Very close.
You don't seem very upset.
A fire!
We require coal in the library.
On the contrary,
Of course they did notice.
I
I
barely.
improvised.
He was such a kindly, charming man.
It's true.
You met him?
Once at the local police station, he was a consultant on a fraud case I was working on.
I see.
Tell me, Perkins, how long have you worked here at Havisham Manor?
80 years.
80 years.
8 years. 8 years.
8 years. And have you enjoyed your time here at Havisham Manor?
My time here at Havisham Manor has been nothing but a joy. I feel that since I've come here, I've been seen not only as a butler, but as a friend and a confidant. Now, if you need me, I'll be in my quarters. Exits!
Very well, Perkins. If you'd be so kind, send in Florence Collymore on your way out.
No need, I'm already here. Don't ask too much of me. Don't ask too much of me, Inspector. I'm as fragile as glass.
At last, you've managed to find me my pencil.
Yes, Inspector.
And my notebook. Thank you, Collymore. I knew I'd left them somewhere. Now, I'm going to need to speak with your sister alone.
Very well. I'll be in the library if you need me, Florence.
Don't worry, Miss Collymore. My questions shall be brief and to the point. And then you can get some space to calm your nerves. Firstly, how old are you?
21.
I'll make a note of it. And when were you engaged to be married?
In the new year.
And when did you and your fiancé first meet?
Only 7 months ago, but my brother has known him since school. We met at a local gala, and it was love at first sight.
Continue.
I knew from the moment I saw him, he was the one I was going to marry. Did you get all that?
Yes. I seem to have run out of paper.
When you love someone, there's no such thing as rushing, Inspector.
Did you ever think you were rushing into this marriage?
Well, why wouldn't I have loved him?
Did you love him then?
How could have anyone benefited?
Can you think of anyone who might have benefited from your fiancé's death?
Cecil?
Not even Cecil?
I'm not having an affair. Don't you raise your voice at me.
You were having an affair!
Don't tell me to calm down.
Calm down, Miss Collymore.
But where did you find it?
I found your letter, the one addressed from yourself to Cecil Havisham, declaring your love for him and saying that the thought of marrying Charles repulsed you.
Well, Charles read it.
But where did you find it? In Charles's pockets! yourself and Cecil Havisham so that you two could run away together.
You diabolical beast! How could you? I will not stand for this. Accuse me again and you'll be sorry.
What's all this shouting?
What is it, Inspector?
Nothing. Merely interrogating Miss Collymore.
What's the matter, Florence? Calm down. Stop shouting.
She's having one of her episodes. Snap out of it. You're hysterical.
Florence, where are you going?
Get back here this instant. She's run off. I'll go fetch her back. You stay here, Cecil. Dare I say, the inspector has some questions for you. You were Charles's brother, after all.
I'm sorry about her, Inspector. She's badly shaken. We all are. It's been quite the night, and it's getting rather late.
Indeed. 11 o'clock already.
You had questions for me, Inspector?
Indeed. Not unlike those I asked Miss Collymore.
Well, fire away, Inspector. I'm at your service.
Very well. You and your brother, did you get along well?
Up and down. There was rather more strain on our relationship when Father died. It was no secret Father cared about Charlie more than myself.
This portrait is of your father, is it not?
It is.
Spitting image of Charles, wasn't he?
Ever since he was quite young, yes.
You were the junior by 4 years, is that correct?
Almost 4 years, but didn't I know it? Charles patronized and embarrassed me throughout our entire childhood. He always thought he knew best, and Father always took his side. If he didn't get his way, he was unbearable.
He sounds far from the ideal brother. In fact, it sounds like you two hated one another.
I won't lie, Inspector. We never truly saw eye to eye. But if you're suggesting I had something to do with his murder, then you're mistaken.
I see. It is a dark night, Cecil.
Inspector?
So dark you can barely even make out the trees.
What are you saying, Inspector?
I'm saying tonight would have been the perfect night for you to murder your brother.
Inspector, we may have had our differences, but deep down we cared for one another.
And yet you had an affair with his fiancée.
What on earth gave you that idea?
I found your letter. The one addressed from Miss Collymore to yourself.
You know about that?
Indeed. As it seems, did Charles.
Get her! Flop her in! Flop her in! Her leg! Oh, her head! Her neck! Okay. Her head! Her head.
Bravo, Inspector. You found out about Florence and I. But it proves nothing. We had nothing to do with Charles's murder. But Thomas Collymore does. Oh, Inspector, he's a dangerously unhinged man with a devil of a temper, and Florence was his sister. Now, I've said it once before, and I'll say it once again. He couldn't stand the idea of anyone marrying his sister, let alone his old school chum. He saw those two together at tonight's engagement party, and he lashed out and killed Charles. Crime of passion, perhaps, but there it is.
Thank you, Mr. Havisham. You have been most helpful. Thank you, Mr. Havisham. You have been most helpful. Thank you, Mr. Havisham. You have been most helpful. Now, if you would be so kind as to send in Cecil Collymore on your way out. It appears I'm going to have to follow more than one line of inquiry to get to the bottom of this case.
At once. I think I'll go get Thomas.
Dash it all, who could have killed you, Charles? Everyone under this damned roof seems guilty. That's queer. There's something beneath these cushions.
Underneath.
A ledger.
Hey!
A ledger. A
Get on the
ledger.
floor. It's right
Yes,
there.
it is!
A ledger.
You're stepping on
What?
it. You're stepping on it. Right there.
Look.
Stop talking. This isn't a game show.
Oh my God, it's right there.
A ledger.
Under the couch. Oh my
A
God.
ledger.
Under the couch
Right
and on the
there.
floor and look underneath. There you go.
What's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? A new draft of Charles's last will and testament, dated only today. Let me have a look at this. I, Charles Havisham, hereby amend my last will and testament to leave my money, my possessions, and Havisham Manor to one... Good God.
Inspector, Thomas Collymore for you.
Thank you, Cecil. I have some papers that I would like to review in Charles's study. I shall return shortly.
Do take your time, Inspector.
Indeed.
Tell me, did you manage to find Florence?
She ran into the grounds.
What were your feelings about... What were your feelings about Florence's and Charles's engagement?
I was overjoyed, of course. I love Florence and I love Charles. I couldn't have approved more of the match.
Come on now, Collymore. It's well known you were overprotective of your sister.
I'll get it.
Good evening. It's for you.
Who is it, Cecil?
Your accountants, Collymore.
At 11:30 in the evening?
Yes.
Well, hand me the receiver, Cecil. Good evening. Yes, it is inconvenient. My recent deposits, what of them? Gone? Gone where? 9,000 pounds? Good Lord, Perkins, get in here.
Yes, sir.
Bring me my bank book, Perkins.
Your bank book, sir.
Thank you, Perkins.
Your pencil, sir.
Thank you, Perkins. Who am I speaking with? I'll report you to your supervisors immediately. Mr. Fitzroy, I'll be sure to write that name down. Listen here, Fitzroy. I didn't authorize these transactions, but you find out who did and you call me back.
What is it, Collymore?
9,000 pounds stolen from my private savings.
Good Lord!
What a ghastly evening.
Thomas, I'm afraid I have a confession to make. Well, Florence and I, we're having an affair.
What? You and my sister?
Calm down, Collymore.
You always were a snake in the grass, Cecil.
It's not what you think. We're in love.
No wonder your father hated you.
Don't you speak about my father, Collymore.
The time has come for you to answer to your indiscretions. Draw your sword. En garde. Nice try, Cecil, but you're no match for my skill. You know, sometimes I forget you're Charles's brother. You're always so pathetic.
I was always too quick for you. But still, not bad. Ching, ching, ching.
Rattle, clang,
Ching,
swipe.
slice.
Ah, 'tis nothing.
How about you, Collymore? Ching, ching, ching. Swipe, slice. You've got good parry.
Good parry. I'll show you good. I'll show you good. I'll show you a good parry.
Ching, ching.
Slash.
Disarm.
Slash.
Blood. 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 Oh. Oh. Oh.
I don't need this to kill a man like you. It seems as there's no mystery as to who killed Charles anymore. He was killed by his own vile little brother in a fit of jealous rage. You'll be sorry you ever laid a finger on my sister, Haversham. You'll be sorry.
Gunshots in the library.
Good God, what's going on down there?
I don't know, Inspector. I heard gunshots. Please come down here.
I'm on my way, Perkins.
Inspector Carter. Inspector Carter. Where's Inspector Carter?
He's coming down from the elevator now, Mr. Collymore.
Ah, there you are, Inspector. I don't know how you managed to look so calm in a situation such as this.
It comes from years of experience.
Indeed.
Now, in a time like this, it is important for us all to remain calm and not let each other out of our sights. Tell me, where is Miss Collymore?
She's coming now. Get in here, Florence. Florence, you don't look yourself this evening.
Thomas, I'm frightened.
Don't worry, Florence. You're safe here with me.
What's happening, sir?
Isn't it obvious? Cecil has lost control.
Oh no, not Skiskell.
He lashed out tonight in a fit of his lust for you, and he killed Charles. And now he knows that we're on to him.
I cannot bear it. Skiskell would never do such a thing.
This is a fine mess. The worst night I've seen in 8 years of working.
Oh, save me, brother!
Wrong person.
Oh, save me, brother!
Don't worry, Florence. I shan't let anyone hurt a hair on your head.
I'm panicking. I can't believe Skiskell...
Cecil!
Cecil is doing this.
Try to relax, Miss Collymore.
I shall faint.
You shan't faint. What a devil of a situation this is. Now, Now we're all going to survive tonight. You hear me?
Take cover!
Great Scott.
Good heavens.
Amy?
Nobody panic. Cecil is crossing the landing. We must lock him out.
Quick, Perkins, where are the keys?
Here they are, sir. Here they are, sir.
Hand them to me quickly, Perkins, before Cecil can burst in.
Oh no. Good Lord.
Cecil's dead?
A double murder.
Cecil's dead?
A double...
Cecil's dead?
Should I stay or should I go now?
Alan Ray, stop it!
Stay or should I...
Time of death. Quarter to mid. 5 o'clock.
Cecil! No! 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 I loved him! I loved him! I know it was wrong. I know I was engaged to Charles, but I was his and he was mine.
There, Miss Collymore.
You, take this body outside.
Yes, Inspector.
I'll lend you a hand, Perkins.
You have a script. Well,
I've seen an awful lot in my 25 years as an inspector. But 2 murders on one night is definitely unusual.
yeah. Oh, Inspector! My fiance and lover killed on the same eve.
Remember your breathing, Miss Collymore. Now is not the time for another one of your episodes.
I'm having an episode, Inspector. I cannot help it.
Have an episode.
An episode?
Yes, have an episode. You seen her do have an episode.
An episode?
Yes, have an episode.
Oh! Oh my God! Oh! 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 Oh no! No! Oh! Oh my God! No!
That's enough, Miss Collymore!
Okay.
Florence, control yourself.
She's having another one of her hysterical episodes.
They're dead. They're gone. They're never coming back.
I will not tolerate another tantrum, Florence.
Not now, Thomas. You don't understand my grief.
That's enough.
Okay?
Take one of your pills.
Oh no, not more pills. Other mints.
But who could have killed him?
That's a good question, Mr. Collymore.
And one that we shall need to answer quickly if we want to make it out of this house alive.
Oh, Inspector, you've given me a chill.
Perkins, pour us all another scotch.
Of course, Inspector.
Now tell me, is there anyone else on the grounds other than the 4 of us?
Not a soul.
The gardener left at 6. The only other member of staff is Perkins. Good God, I needed that.
Now, is there anyone else who has access to the grounds?
No one, Inspector.
I'm the only one with the master key, and as instructed, I locked and bolted the doors as I arrived.
Then who could have killed him?
That's a good question, Mr. Collymore.
And one that we shall need to answer quickly if we want to make it out of this house alive.
Oh, Inspector, you've given me a chill.
Perkins, pour us all another scotch.
Of course, Inspector.
Now tell me, is there anyone else on the grounds other than the 4 of us?
Not a soul.
The gardener left at 6. The only other member of staff is Perkins. Good God, I needed that.
Now tell me, is there anyone else who has access to the grounds?
No one, Inspector.
I'm the only one with the master key, and as instructed, I locked in both of the doors as I arrived.
Then who could have killed him?
That's a good question, Mr. Collymore.
And one that we shall need to answer quickly if we're to make it out of this house alive.
Oh, Inspector, you've given me a chill.
Perkins, pour us all another scotch. Now tell me, is there anyone else on the grounds other than the four of us?
Not a soul.
The gardener left at 6. The only other member of staff is Perkins. Good God, I needed that.
Now, is there anyone else who has access to the grounds?
No one, Inspector.
I'm the only one with the master key, and as instructed, I locked in both of the doors as you arrived.
Then who could have killed him?
That's a good question, Mr. Collymore.
And one that we shall need to answer quickly if we're to make it out of this house alive.
Oh, Inspector, you've given me a chill.
Perkins, pour us all another scotch. Now, is there anyone else on the grounds other than the four of us?
Not a soul.
The gardener left at 6. The only other member of staff is Perkins. Good God, I needed that.
Is there anyone else who has access to the grounds?
No one, Inspector.
I'm the only one with the master key, and as instructed, I locked in both of the doors as you arrived.
Then who could have killed him?
That's a good question, Mr.
And
Collymore.
one that we shall need to answer quickly if we make it out of this house alive.
Oh, Inspector, you've given me a chill.
Perkins, pour us all another scotch.
Of course, Inspector.
Now, is there anyone else on the grounds other than the four of us?
No one, Inspector.
The gardener left at 6. The only other member of staff is Perkins. Good God, I needed that.
Now, is there anyone else who has access to the grounds?
No one, Inspector.
I'm the only one with the master key, and as instructed, I locked in both of the doors as you arrived.
Then who could have killed him?
No one. No one could, except for the people who are in this room.
Good God, you're right. It's one of us.
This is a disaster. Blackout intermission.
You said the...
Oh.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have enjoyed the break. We shall be resuming tonight's performance shortly, I am assured. Quiet backstage! Shut up! I am thrilled to see that so many of you have returned for the second act. Obviously, I would be lying if I said the first act went entirely as rehearsed. There were one or two minor snags you may or may not have picked up on. But they're snags that you'd expect to see in any production. Besides, this is far from the worst first act the Cornley Drama Society has seen by some stretch. Well, just last year, for instance, due to a casting error, the Cornley Drama Society was forced to present Snow White and the Seven Tall Broad Gentlemen.
Yeah, back to sitting on the busy buddy.
Before we begin again,
He's still unconscious and we can't find the dog.
Trevor!
Hi.
Before we begin again, one word of Health and Safety Administration. If I could please ask that anyone who has eaten any of the salted nuts available during the intermission to please seek medical help immediately.
What? Who let Crocs
you're right. It's one of us!
This is a disaster.
And it's not over yet. 2 murders on one night at Haversham Manor. What a grisly evening.
Frightful, brother, frightful.
And look, Mr. Collymore, the snowstorm outside is building.
If we're not careful, we'll be snowed into this slaughterhouse. We must discover the guilty man.
Indeed. The gunshots were heard coming from the library. I shall go investigate the room. All of you, remain here.
This whole business is a disgrace. Now, let us remind ourselves of what we know.
We know that Charles Haversham was found murdered in his private rooms the night of his engagement party.
We know that his fiancée was involved in an affair with his own brother Cecil. How could my sister behave in such a way?
Not now, Thomas. We know, too, that he was murdered on the same eve in cold blood.
The only thing we don't know is who the murderer is.
Oh, the tension in this... Oh, the tension in this house is... Oh, the tension in this house is... Oh, it's tense.
How do you feel now, Florence?
I'm good.
That's dreadful.
Dreadful, yes, I want to die.
That's the spirit, Florence.
But now, Miss Collymore, I must ask you an important question. Where were you when the murder was committed?
On the floor with a mustache.
That makes perfect sense. So was I.
Oh, kiss me 1,000 times, I'm yours.
Of course, Florence. That's what brothers are for.
This is a disaster, and it's already midnight. That was most.
Sorry, buddy. Go on.
That was most.
Trevor!
That was most. Oh, moose.
Ominous, indeed.
Study the lounge. Study the lounge. Are you there, Collymore?
Yes, Inspector.
Collymore, could you come up to the study? I would like to have a word with you.
At once, Inspector.
There you are, Collymore.
Yes, Inspector.
I would like to have a word with
Oh
you.
my God!
Oh,
He's big!
at once, Inspector.
Are you sitting comfortably?
Most comfortably, Inspector.
Before we begin, I must make sure no one else is in earshot.
No one else is here, Inspector.
Very well. I have found the weapon that was used to kill Cecil Havisham.
Good Lord, where was it?
It was on the table in the library. Barrel still warm and the muzzle still smoking.
Somebody killed Cecil with this?
Yes, less than half an hour ago.
But who?
I was hoping maybe you could tell me that, Collymore. After all, we are friends, aren't we?
I have no idea who killed Cecil. I was down in the kitchens when I heard the gunshots, fetching some refreshment for my sister. Line.
Don't know what page you're on, buddy.
Don't know what page you're on, buddy.
Why would I...
Besides, why would I want to kill my oldest friend's younger brother?
Perhaps because you found out about his affair with Florence. We all know you're a jealous man, Collymore. Ruthlessly protective of your sister.
Protective? I approve of whatever makes my sister happy.
Don't play the fool with me, Thomas. We both know you shot Cecil Havisham tonight in cold blood. And you know that wasn't the plan.
What could that be?
I don't know.
You're probably right. Quickly, Miss Collingwood. We must hide you out of harm's way. Charles had a secret passageway built into this bookcase. Stand back. I'll open it.
Okay.
Step inside, Miss Collingwood. You'll be safe in here.
Ooh, I got a watermelon.
You're safe in there, Miss Collingwood. Arthur the gardener, what are you doing here?
I was gardening late in the grounds this evening with Rascal. When the storm caught us, we couldn't quite make it to the gates.
Good heavens. Step inside, Arthur. You wouldn't believe the disaster of an evening this has been.
How do you mean? Whoa! Rascal! Down from the Chase Lounge.
Charles Haversham was murdered tonight.
Mr. Haversham? Did you say Charles Haversham? Well, that would explain the strange going-ons that's written on the grounds this evening.
Strange going-ons.
A mysterious figure stood by the window to this very room, and I noticed that the latch on the window was forced, and Rascal found this on the ground beneath it. A lace handkerchief with a deep red mark and a distinctive scent.
Canidi.
Precisely, cyanide. And you can tell by the shape of the mark it's been used to hold a bottle. Not only that, it's also embroidered with the initials F.C.
Florence Collymore.
Indeed.
I have something to show you, Thomas. No doubt you shall find it interesting.
Well, what is it, Inspector?
A new draft of Charles's last will and testament, dated only today. You will see he has changed the beneficiary.
Well, who has he changed the Well, who has he changed the Who has he changed the Good Lord.
Indeed.
He's leaving it all to Perkins.
Arthur the gardener, are you suggesting that Florence Collymore broke into Charles's private rooms this afternoon?
Florence Collymore has murdered her own fiancé.
Miss Collymore, get in here right now. You killed Charles Haversham. We have evidence to prove it.
How dare you? How dare you, Perkins?
The time has come to confront Perkins and tell him we know what he has done. Quickly, Thomas, get in the elevator.
Yes, Inspector.
Then we must take the stairs.
After you, Inspector.
The stairs. Perkins!
Thank heavens, Inspector. These two have been accusing me of the most dreadful things.
Hold your tongue. We all know what you did. Whoa! Rascal! Rascal! Down, boy!
Rascal! The inspector is here to help us.
I'm sorry about Rascal, Inspector. I'll put him outside.
Arthur, I presume?
I'm the longest serving man member of staff here at Haversham Manor.
He's been working here 90 years. 99 years.
99 years. What a dedicated old man. But Arthur, I was informed that you left Haversham Manor at 6 o'clock this evening.
What's that, young man?
That would mean you were caught hiding on the grounds on the same night 2 men were murdered here.
Arthur became trapped in the snowstorm and couldn't make it to the gates.
A likely story. I don't suppose you know who walked into this evening then, do you, Arthur?
On the contrary, Inspector, it appears I've discovered a clue that will close this case.
A handkerchief.
Monogrammed.
Monogrammed.
And stained with Canidi.
Cyanide.
Dropped beneath the very forced window that was used to gain access to this room so somebody could poison Charles.
Good God, how dreadful. I must investigate this handkerchief in more detail. Thomas, if you could fetch my magnifying glass from Charles's desk.
Without delay, Inspector. Your magnifying glass, Inspector.
Thank you, Thomas.
Inspector, there is something you do not know about that handkerchief.
I'll get it. Good evening. It's for you, Mr. Collymore.
Another telephone call?
Yes, sir.
Who is it, Arthur?
Mr. Fitzroy, sir.
Hand me the receiver, Arthur.
At once, sir.
Good evening. Yes, this is a much more convenient time. Another transaction traced. A one-way ticket to Dover? No, I have no idea. Hello? Fitzroy? Are you there? Ah, there you are, Fitzroy. Listen here. You've given 9,000 pounds of my money to someone else. You've caused me more pain than you could possibly imagine. I shall hang up the phone immediately. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must go check my bank records. If you'll excuse me.
Inspector, there is something you have not detected about that handkerchief.
What is it, Perkins?
It bears the initials F.C.
Florence Collymore is the murderer, Inspector.
Me? The murderer? How can you?
You are the murderer, Miss Collymore. It is plain for us all to see. You were engaged to be married to Charles, a man who, according to your own letter, you despised. Not only that, but you were having an affair with his brother, secretly. I find it plausible that this entire thing was a scheme by the two of you so that you two could run away together.
If you'll excuse me. I think it's going rather well.
Florence Collymore is the murderer, Inspector.
Me? The murderer? How can you?
My bank records. Oh.
You're lying, Florence. You killed him.
She's having another one of her hysterical episodes.
You killed your fiancée, Florence. What do you have to say for yourself?
I am the murderer.
We all know that's not true.
It is true, Inspector.
Florence! You've been exposed.
Very well, Miss Collymore. Your name can easily be cleared. We simply must check Charles's body for signs of cyanide poisoning. Thomas, Perkins, if you could escort me down to the servants' quarters to examine the body once more.
Yes, Inspector.
stay here and make sure Miss Collymore does not leave this room.
Arthur, you have known me for years. Surely you can't believe I would do such a thing.
On the contrary, Miss Collymore, it appears I'm the one who discovered you to be the guilty party.
Arthur, please, you must protect me from these fiends. I'll do anything to win your trust.
Miss Collymore! You know I cannot resist your feminine charms.
I have seen the way you looked at me from across the grounds. Even now, the way you're looking at me, I know how you feel.
Miss Collymore, I'm a simple gardener.
And you've said before how brave.
Miss Collymore, I do not feel as you suggest. You are a seductress and a murderer, and I shall not be seduced.
Okay, whoa, okay. We're in.
But Arthur, how can you resist me? I'm a beautiful woman.
Stop it, Miss Collymore. You are using your powers against men as you always have.
You can't pretend your feelings aren't real.
Very well, then. Maybe it is true I've admired you.
Then kiss, really? Then kiss me, Arthur. You know you want to. Nobody wants to see that.
What on earth is going on?
I can explain.
I don't think you can.
Miss Collymore, in Arthur's arms.
A second affair?
Florence. You've changed.
Her wild accusations have driven me to this. I feel dizzy. I feel as though I shall pass out.
Calm yourself, Miss Collymore. Now is not the time for another one of your episodes.
Oh, Inspector, all these accusations, I feel an episode coming on. I don't want to.
I'll go get her pills.
You're doing the episode. You're having an episode. You've seen her do it. Have an episode.
If you'll excuse me.
A seductress and a cold-blooded killer.
I'm not, Inspector!
Is she? Yes, you are, Miss Collymore.
I can't take it anymore! I shall faint!
for her.
Quickly, move her on to the chase. Her legs, not with your back. That's better.
What on earth is... Oh, my God. What's happened?
Florence has fainted.
There, Miss Collymore.
Good Lord. I'll wake her up. She's out cold.
But Arthur, is this the same figure you saw outside the window this evening?
I cannot tell, Inspector. Mr. Collymore, would you remove her hands from her face? It's not her, Inspector. Besides, the figure that I saw was that of a man.
Of course it was. You were drawn in by a handkerchief planted outside the forced window to frame Florence Collymore. Because of their affair, her and Cecil both have plausible motives for murder. But the real motive belongs to one man alone. And that man is Perkins!
This is a mistake.
Turns out Charles made you the sole beneficiary of his inheritance.
That's a mistake.
Save your pleading for the police station. Thomas, handcuff him to the chase before I may take him there myself. Handcuff him to that chase.
It's not me, I tell you.
You know, the police won't be here for hours, though. The snow is at its peak.
I told you it's not me.
What happened? I must have fainted. Curse my delicate... Ow! What happened? I must have fainted. Curse my delicate constitution.
You did faint, Florence. We've learned that Perkins has committed the murder.
Perkins? Perkins? But he's such a kindly old man!
So a misunderstanding. I didn't kill the inspector, but I know who did.
Who?
The inspector.
What on earth?
Poppycock!
You did it because Charles found out about the police money you were embezzling.
Nonsense.
You say you'd met before, that he was a consultant on a fraud case you were working on.
What of it?
Charles found the reason no arrests were made was because the person who committed the crime was yourself. You were the facade. You were the perpetrator. You were the perpetrator!
You can't prove it.
But Charlie could. That's why you killed him.
Nonsense.
I know your secret, Inspector. What will you do? Kill me too?
Confound it, I will.
What a devil of a situation this is!
Not so fast, Inspector.
Charles!
Havisham!
Sir!
Charlie, I thought you were dead! Get off!
You're alive. It's not possible.
Oh, I'm afraid it is. You couldn't kill me that easily.
How did you survive?
I simply didn't drink the poison sherry you left out for me this evening.
Charlie! Ow! Charlie, that's so more than I can bear!
Ever since we last spoke at the police station, it was clear you thought I was onto you. So at this point, I became afraid you might try to kill me. For months now, I've had my guard. Tonight, you fell into my trap.
You've been hiding on the grounds ever since this afternoon when you planted your poison.
It was you that I saw. You were the mysterious figure.
I
But what about the lace handkerchief bearing Florence Collymore's initials?
Perhaps you should ask Inspector Carter. Or should I say, Inspector Frederick Carter?
FC! The same initials.
Precisely. And after finding Charles's will in his ledger, you tried to pin the whole thing on me.
You damn... Ow! You damn crafty devil!
Crafty indeed. Perkins here is as innocent as I am. Remove those handcuffs this instant.
Of course, Charles, I have the key.
Drop the gun, Inspector.
Never. I came here to kill you, Charles, and I won't leave until the job's done.
It's over, Inspector. I can prove your guilt in a second. I have the evidence upstairs in the safe in my study. Write your papers, Perkins.
Yes, sir.
You gotta get the chase with it.
Move away!
If someone did sit on this, then this would be great. Like, seriously.
No!
It got heavier.
Lower your weapon, Inspector. It's over.
What are you going to do, Charles? Kill me in a room full of witnesses?
Don't think I wouldn't do it, Carter. You try to kill me, I'd merely be returning the favor.
Please, Inspector, you're frightening me. Please, Inspector, you're frightening me.
You ought to be frightened.
Arthur, hold everyone in this room. I'll send a wire to local police.
Yes, sir.
You monster! You tried to kill Charles and you... And you killed Cecil! How could you? Get out here!
All right, it's true. I tried to kill Charles, but I couldn't have done it without my accomplice.
Your accomplice?
Yes, my accomplice. Isn't that right, Thomas Collymore?
All right, it's true. But don't you think for 1 second I'm going down for any of this. Charlie's locked the door. We're trapped.
Quickly, Collymore, get in the elevator. We can escape down the east staircase.
Get away from the elevator, you two! Rascal! Get him, boy!
Rascal!
What is this?
Notice I'm at
Oh, good Lord!
Quickly, Thomas, down the stairs. We can escape through the servants' quarters.
Your papers, sir.
Thank you, Perkins. Now fetch my reading us from the library.
Yes, sir.
Get out of my way, Charles.
Strike him down, Thomas, or do you want to spend the rest of your life in jail?
I will strike you down, Charlie.
It's useless. There's no way out.
Brother, I'm surprised! Get out! Get out! Brother, I'm surprised. I don't know what you become. Ow!
I feel
Yeah.
so ashamed. Carter and I found that between the two of us, we could steal money from the police's Sundry account easily. He had the access, and I had the facility to move the money and keep it safe and secure. Or so I thought until earlier on this evening. Line.
This sets a damn death trap.
This sets a damn death trap.
As for Cecil...
As for Cecil, that was more of a crime of passion. Simple as that.
Now, I hold in my hand a written list of every fraudulent transaction Thomas Collymore and Inspector Carter have made.
No, this can't be true. I can't believe. Get out!
my heart.
Charlie, look at me the way you used to!
Stop it, no more.
Your glasses, sir.
Thank you, Perkins.
Get out of the way!
Silence, boys, you're nothing to me now. Get the door, Perkins.
Yes, sir.
This is the worst night of my life! Ah! No! This is the worst night of my life! Come here, Hal!
I think this is the worst night of all of our lives.
But Thomas, Carter had you fooled, didn't he?
What do you mean?
He never intended to share the money with you. Let me summarize.
Charlie, I love you!
Inspector Carter knew I discovered you and he were both embezzling police money, so he has to plan to kill me, planting cyanide in my shirt for me to drink.
I still have the ring, Charlie. We can make it work. No, you can't!
Then, mistakenly believing I was dead, Inspector Carter tried to pin my murder on my brother Cecil and Florence because of their affair.
Take me, Charlie! If you don't want to get my out!
That is, interior accomplice Thomas blundered in and shot my brother Cecil. So instead, he tried to pin my murder on Perkins. I've signed my will in the ledger. Except what you didn't know, Thomas. Except what you didn't know, Thomas, was that Inspector Carter made a £9,000 withdrawal from your private accounts this morning, and after framing someone for my murder, he intended to flee with the one-way ticket to Dover, taking every penny with him. I think it's time to take a look inside your attaché case, Inspector.
You don't really need to if you don't want to. Nobody's forcing you.
Where we shall find the bottle of cyanide and Thomas Collymore's £9,000.
And of course, your one-way ticket to Duran.
Who put that in there?
He allowed you to take all the risks by storing the stolen money in your private accounts. Isn't that right, Inspector?
All right, it's true.
I won! Yes!
All right, it's true.
Okay, go on.
All right, it's true. I forged your signature at the bank this morning, and I took out every penny. And intended to flee after framing someone for the murder. I just hadn't expected your accountants to find out so soon, or to telephone you so quickly.
You rogue. I trusted you. You made a mistake, and I'm afraid it's your last.
No! Bang!
The police are waiting in the hall, sir.
Thank you, Perkins. If you could please escort Miss Collymore downstairs, I wish I have a word with Thomas in private.
My set.
Yes, sir.
You're dead. Oh. Downstairs, Florence, downstairs. Thomas, you're not the man I once knew at Eton. You've become greedy and jealous.
I'm sorry, Charles. My nerves are in shreds.
There's a glass of sherry by the telephone.
Thank you, Charles. Ever the kind host.
Drink it up.
Most kind.
Tell me, Thomas, one last thing.
Anything, Charles. I'll tell no more lies.
The glass of poisoned sherry the inspector left out for me. What do you suppose I did with it?
Well, I don't know. What do you mean? No, you don't mean... Charles! Charles, no! Line.
Just die already.
Just die already. How dare you? Oh! 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 Oh my God! Oh! 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 Poison! Oh!
to lead you exorbitantly to this end. If men allow their conscience to be governed by avarice, then death and destruction shall prevail. Betrayed by my own brother.
Should I stay or should I come now?